This world is getting stranger by the day. Let's watch.
The evidence of the mud flood can be found everywhere.
On Oliver Jefferson in front of the old Sam Light building, a construction crew just uncovered this hidden room under a public sidewalk.
You ain't gonna believe this. You need to get down here.
That's what Gershenson Construction Superintendent Patrick Wells remembers hearing from his crew member who'd just been operating a track hoe to break up the old sidewalk.
And lo and behold, we got this huge hole that goes all the way out to the curb, which nobody knew about. So it actually goes into the basement. It was an old coal chute, or who knows, it might have been, prohibition stuff.
It brings back a frightening memory for Derek Langeneckert, who fell into a similar hole in a sidewalk in 2017.
Yeah, it's been 6 years since my accident, like almost to the day. And the hole's still there, actually.
Here it is, covered by plywood and surrounded by a fence. It's looked like this since Langeneckert says he broke his back falling inside. These are pictures of him that day. He was working a beer festival. The street was closed, and the sidewalks behind the booths were used for heavy equipment, like a generator and the forklift Langeneckert was driving to move beer that day. He is still in the middle of a lawsuit with St. Louis over the accident, and the city won't talk about it because of the litigation. But Langeneckert's court record shows evidence the city is aware of hidden rooms under sidewalks all around the area. These are pictures from the court file of the hidden room Langeneckert fell into. You can see the ceiling was constructed with block glass, made that way in the early 1900s so shopkeepers could use the natural light.
This day and age, how many people don't realize what you're walking across?
This hidden room Langeneckert fell into in 2017 only appeared to be covered by a thin layer of concrete, in stark contrast to what the construction crew found in their discovery this week.
I don't think it was in any danger due to the fact whoever built it over top of it reinforced it with rebar from one end of it to the other. So it was done properly, thank goodness.
For the Fox Files, I'm Chris.
Yeah, maybe that one was done properly, but what about the rest of them? And how many of those underground holes, freaking building, whatever you want to call it, how many of those could be around the country and we not know about it?
Check this out.
You can play with the spot. But watch this. Just bring it over to us here.
This company sells sunlight at night. What?
Isn't that crazy? No way.
That's crazy.
That's a startup called Reflect Orbital, and they allow you to order sunlight at night from your phone. The way it works is that they have a bunch of mirror satellites in space, and when you order light, they just redirect the light from the sun all the way down to your location on Earth. And it looks like this from your location.
What?
And I guess they use this to power solar farms at night, or you could maybe order it if you're lost in the forest. I feel like this video might be a fake demo. These guys had this video on YouTube 5 months ago where they did the same thing using mirrors and a balloon. But that's by far the craziest idea I've heard this year. It has to be illegal in some way, right? You can't just order sunlight on your friend's house at 3 a.m.
Wait, hold on. Doesn't Alaska have these dark seasons where they get a darkness all day and all night? Alaska, you might want to give them a call to find out if that's real or not.
The toughest questions we get asked and give our answers.
Balloon, but that's by far the craziest idea I've heard this year. It has to be illegal in some way, right? You can't just order sunlight on your friend's house at 3 a.m.
The toughest questions we get asked and give our answers. One that's come up for a long time is, as we make the world healthier, is the population going to get so big that feeding everybody and maintaining the environment is going to be impossible? The good news is that the faster we improve health, the faster family size goes down. And so we can feel great about saving those lives.
I kind of feel uncomfortable listening to Bill Gates talk about this. It sounds like he's pretending to have the people's interests at heart.
One of my favorite stories is about Jacques de Saint-Germain, or in American pronunciation, Jacques of Saint-Germain, a French guy, big socialite, who was caught chasing a young lady on the streets of New Orleans in front of his house and doing vampire things to her in front of his house with many witnesses. Fast forward 100 years later, when I moved to New Orleans 12 years ago, I didn't know anything about any of these legends here. I sat down in a coffee house. It was my very first day here in New Orleans, and within 5 minutes of me sitting down on that couch, here comes this vampiric looking guy into the coffee house, comes straight to me, points out his finger in my face and says, you're from Transylvania. So I said, yes, I am. Kind of intimidated. How would he know that I was from Transylvania? Who are you, sir? What do you want from me? And he said, well, I will make you one of us. We'll see. Hold on a second. Who are you? And he said, my name is Giacomo, and that is all you need to know for now, and good night. And he left. Could it be that the vampire somehow had sixth sense to basically smell me that I was from Transylvania? And did he really threaten me that he wants to make me part of his tribe?
See, I needed that. I needed that story because as of lately, I haven't really been believing in vampires. And that right there, I ain't gonna say made me a believer, but hey, it gave me a little hope.
To crack down on social media abuse is being considered by the federal government. For more, Nine's Oliver Haig joins us live in Adelaide. Ollie, how will it work?
Lala, good morning. Essentially, it will work the same as a passport. Australians forced to submit 100 points of identification, like their driver's licence or passport, when using social media accounts like Facebook and Twitter. Now, police would have access to those social media accounts, and it's all part of a crackdown on online abuse. Now, users could be liable for defamation suits or even criminal prosecution, and it's all part of a plan hoping to deter people from engaging in bad behaviour. Now, the recommendations were handed down by a federal parliamentary inquiry. They're reforms that are being considered by the Morrison government, with the chairman saying there is merit to remove the veil of being anonymous.
Nah, that sounds like the government wanted to control every little aspect of our lives, even what we do on social media. Man, if they do some mess like that, I'd just rather not have social media anymore. Ain't that important anyway.
I need y'all to watch this entire video because your shower could be the source and cause of your disease or the downfall of your health in the future. Stay with me.
Ain't no way the water in Arizona this got the shower leg look like this.
What you just witnessed was this man being exposed to heavy metal toxins that destroyed his skin. This is why I stress everybody should have a shower filtration system in their house. Because when you take a shower, you're taking a shower to become clean, right? But imagine taking a shower and you're drenching your entire body in chemicals from chemtrails and aerosols and heavy metals such as lead, arsenic, mercury, aluminum, and other heavy metal toxins, and you're thinking you're getting clean, but you are actually not, and you are speeding up the rate and cause of your disease.
Yo, he just put me on. I think I'm gonna have to have some type of water filtration system in my home when I purchase me a house, because my water here in this apartment, I noticed that when I turn it on, it smells like soil. It smells so strongly like soil. And I was just watching a video of a woman showing, you know, the chlorine in our water. She put the little droplets so that you could see the amount of chlorine in tap water. And then she said our skin absorbs that chlorine. She dang on filled up a cup with tap water again, put her hand down into the cup and let the chlorine absorb into the hand, and then drop those little droplets back into the water again. And the water didn't turn as yellow as it did before because all the chlorine had absorbed into her hand. I don't know how real that was, but it looked pretty real to me.
Britain's Bill Gates has been confirmed as one of the missing after a luxury yacht has sunk off of the coast of Sicily. This is absolutely wild, and you'll see what I mean in a second. The man I'm talking about is British tech entrepreneur Mike Lynch. He recently won a 13-year legal battle after he sold HP for $11 billion. He was accused of 15 counts of fraud and conspiracy leading up to the sale of this, saying that he artificially inflated the company's numbers, but in June he was finally acquitted. But listen to this, his co-defendant Chamberlain recently passed away after he was fatally struck by a car just a few days before this yacht incident. Timing of all of this is just absolutely wild. But Lynch's wife, she's the one who owned the yacht. She survived along with 15 others, and 6, including Lynch and his 18-year-old daughter, has gone missing after the 184-foot yacht was struck by a storm.
Wow. Yo, what the heck is that? I don't think that's AI either.
The actual. Please, dear God, someone tell me.
Have y'all come across this yet? No, because seriously, we need to know what this is. Like, we need to know what this is because this isn't the sun, y'all. This was in Chattanooga, Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains yesterday. Let me show you what transpired of this. Like, it all started looking something like this. Do y'all see that? This ring of smoke, whatever it is, and then it goes to looking like this. Look at this, right? Could this be like creating a portal of some sort? Look at that. Look at that. This is on the Smoky Mountains. Look, what is that, y'all?
Wild.
Look. Like, y'all see that burning fire in the middle of it? But it looks like something is coming through the firmament. And y'all see that? Look at this. What is going on? This is literally like the Truman Show, y'all. It's like something is like cutting the glass or the firmament like to come in, or like literally a portal, like a window. You know what I'm saying? A porthole. And it's literally a hole. But and then you see this fiery red thing over here, kind of like Jupiter, right? Right? What y'all think?
I wonder, is this not AI? I mean, it honestly, it could be, but at the same time, it looks so good that it looks real. I don't know. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. Have y'all? Y'all see what I'm rocking. Your boy is looking real fresh in the new gear. This is the Paranormal Gang hoodie and cap. This is actually my very first time wearing the hoodie. I had to make the hoodie just to wear it in this video. I like it. I love how it came out. Grab yours today on the website, link down below, artofkickz.com. Back to your video. Yes, I will be shouting out everybody that copped the new merch in tonight's live stream.
You're going to want to listen to this because you might be living in an alternate universe and have no idea, like I did. And I found out in a very strange way through James Bond. Now, just to explain, my wife and I were rewatching some old James Bond movies, and we got to Moonraker, which was a movie that I saw in the theaters as a kid. And we were rewatching it, and we got to the part where there's this henchman, Jaws. He has these steel teeth, and he and James Bond are fighting on a cable car going down. And I remembered this scene from when I was a kid, and I remember distinctly the car crashes, and in the rubble of the crash, this young woman, she's a little geeky, has pigtails. She comes and sort of sifts through the wreckage, and Jaws gets up, dusts himself off, and he looks at her, and he smiles with his steel teeth. And the punchline of the scene, which I remembered, which was so funny, is she smiles back, and she has braces. Perfect. Wait a minute. Yeah. I was really blown away. I was really confused. I thought, why would they years later re-edit this, maybe digitally remove the braces, or why would they use a different take without the braces? That was so funny. Well, it turns out there never were braces. That scene never existed in Moonraker. The scene exists, but Dolly doesn't have braces. And I am one of a small amount of the population who remembers the scene with her having braces. This is apparently, when I looked in forums and I did research, is a Mandela effect. For those of you who don't know what a Mandela effect is, it's this phenomenon where a certain portion of the population believes that they experienced something that did not happen.
The fake meat.
Yo, that's crazy.
Please tell me.
Don't eat that.
What can it...
So 45 of the 46 presidents are all related to each other. But did you know that there's only one celebrity that's related to all 46 presidents? I wonder what that could be. This celebrity is on the flight logs for that famous island. And in fact, I heard that his perversions were so bad that he was actually banned from the island. This guy was actually cleared of all charges last year in some assault scandal stuff. Oh my goodness. You want to know who it is? It's Kevin Spacey. That's right. He's related to all the presidents. Not excluding any of them, all 46. Joe Biden's famous kin page is finally up, and I'll show you he's only related to 3 notable people. And there you have it. 3 people. A lady who was a survivor from the Titanic, Christopher Rouse, and Kevin Spacey. It's not interesting that he would be charged with certain things, and he happens to have that royal line, which is what connects him to all the...
It's so crazy to think that all the presidents could be related to one another. If that is indeed true, then me not ever voting, it doesn't make me upset at all. Like, I'm not mad, because my idea since I was a kid around voting was that it was all a design that was orchestrated by the powers that be. So us voting was absolutely unnecessary. It didn't do anything to sway which direction a vote would actually go, because they already had in mind, or they already had in motion, who they were going to choose to be the next president. Like, that was my conspiracy theory, and you know what? I'm sticking to it. Be mad at me if you want. It's okay.
40 seats. What? They didn't know what they were talking about. We know we're different from the presidential. We're very discreet, reptilian, cold-blooded. These are the races we have to win.
Here's Glamham with an unusual observation about Bouvet Island, yes, home of the blob and fictional location of Alien vs. Predator. Do you remember on June 29th when this happened?
Still kind of chilling Saturday morning, and there's been an earthquake on Bouvet Island. Let's take a look.
I shared how it was a 5.6 earthquake at the somewhat mysterious depth of 10 kilometers. I went on to tell you how Bouvet Island has rare earth elements and an EU anomaly, which is europium used for nuclear reactors and lasers. This led me to tell you how on Skinwalker Ranch they use lasers to attract UAPs. And then I explained how at the South Pole Research Station
They use the same laser, but it's for weather testing.
Well, one of you noticed this.
And measurements.
Did you see that? Let's look again.
But it's for weather testing. And measurements. And measurements.
Did Bouvet Island just wink? I even wrote to the manufacturer of my map, and he said there's no way that should happen, especially given that all the other earthquakes that share the same layer remain visible. I mean, I suppose I feel flattered.
But it's not on the ice. It's 2,000 feet below.
Viado, vamos a chavinha dela, viado.
Não, você é doido.
De algum lugar, viado. Não, eu vou pegar ela.
I remember this. Wait, no?
Lógico que é. Nah.
Never mind.
Roswell, 1947. What happened?
Roswell, 1947, there was a UAP that crashed. In fact, there were two UAP that crashed, and one flew away while the other one did not, and it was recovered by the U.S. government.
Allegations of a legacy UAP retrieval and reverse engineering program.
The U.S. government has had in the past and continues to have a very deep interest in UAP, to include the potential and possibilities of recovering crashed UAP and reverse engineering them.
We've been recovering spacecraft, alien spacecraft.
The United States has been involved in the recovery of objects, vehicles of unknown origin that are neither from our country or any other foreign country that we're aware of.
Alien bodies, biologics.
We as a nation have been interested in not only the vehicles themselves, but the occupants of these vehicles, to include biological specimens.
Aliens, non-human intelligences, are real, and they have been engaging with humanity.
Ross, we're not alone. We are not alone in this universe, and it is a simple fact. And the U.S. government has been aware of that fact now for decades.
It's just like with the movie E.T. If something of unknown origins hit our world, oh yeah, best believe the government is going to be all over that. They want to run and conduct all type of experiments and do some reverse engineering if they can.
Missing after posting this. Ross, we're not alone. We are not alone in this universe, and it is a simple fact. And the U.S. government has been aware of that fact now for decades.
This man went missing after posting this. Nobody is safe.
Yo, that's crazy.
Okay, this is a weird one. A pharmaceutical company that's trialing a new groundbreaking age reversal pill had such good results that the local news wanted to run a story on them. But before they even could publish the video, the chairman and CEO... You see, 6 months ago, this 12-year-old German shepherd was near... He had terminal cancer, was operated on, and his prognosis, perhaps only reproduced, goes out to our pool. Results were so remote.
Chapman has recently passed away.
But then, despite all of that, they hit us with this.
And we are sad to report that since this interview was conducted, Dr. Christopher Chapman has recently passed away.
On the company's website, they announced his passing, saying, out of respect and privacy for Dr. Chapman's family, details of the 71-year-old's passing will not be made available. And then added that to support the new chairman and CEO, 3 telomere directors have voluntarily resigned. Human trials for this drug are planned for mid-2025.
Park guests are stuck dangling 200 feet in the air at a Six Flags amusement theme park as a storm rolls in. The whole park shut down, but they couldn't get these people off in time.
I believe you reach a certain level in Hollywood, and then there's just like the demons, like the Illuminati, the whole people come after you. Do you believe that too, or have you witnessed something like that happening in this industry at all?
Well, I believe that in the supernatural realm of spiritual warfare, there are people that pick sides. You know, there are people, you know, clearly call it Illuminati, call whatever you want, but there is the spirit of this world, and the Lord of this world is Satan, according to what I believe. So with that in mind, you can do a deal with him to have all the pleasures of this world, you know, because that way you're lifting him up and all that good stuff. But yeah, so I believe that some of that is relevant and prevalent.
How many times does another actor have to come out and tell y'all this stuff is real? There are spirits here. He just said the spirit of this earth is the devil, and you can make deals with the devil. Y'all wonder why there's so much pain, so much heartache, so much tragedy that happens on this planet. Is because, unfortunately, it's not ran by the one that we wish was running it.
Where is the funeral of the shooter that attempted to unalive President Trump? Where's that at? When did it happen? Why didn't the news media cover it? Where is the funeral of the firefighter who was allegedly sniped during the actual speech? Where's that at? Why isn't the media covering it? Why haven't they spoken to his wife out loud? Why haven't they had actual interviews of these people? Why is it so silent? Something so major that happened, people just glossed over it like it never happened. We had an international attempt placed on the life of a former American president, one of the most powerful people in the world. You mean to tell me that they have not publicized it? They haven't talked about it. It hasn't been talked about again. There's been no medical follow-up from the doctors. The doctor that treated Trump didn't come out and give a press conference. Anytime the president is injured or if the president burps too hard, the medical doctor that's treating the president will come out and give a speech on why and when and the reason it happened. We have not seen any of that information. You guys don't think that's suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? Think about that. We haven't seen anything. We haven't seen any documents, any information. There's been no follow-up press conferences. It's like it's something that happened and then it moved on. Time Magazine caught it, or either Time Magazine was paid to capture it. You had people in the audience that didn't duck down. You had photographers that didn't move during this process.
Yep.
Anytime this has happened in our lives, we know we take it off running. So I don't understand why it hasn't happened. It's just mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling that no one has talked about it and no one's even concerned. We're caught up in a world right now to where we don't even focus on tomorrow. We're only focused on the first minute or the first second of the day. You guys got to tell me what is going on. Why haven't we heard anything about this? Why have we not? Tell me. Drop the comments down below.
It's crazy that he mentions that because I definitely heard way more coverage in regards to the recent school situation that happened here in Georgia than I did after the Trump situation. That's crazy. And yeah, like the people that was all around that was not ducking and hiding for their lives, like did they think, oh wait, somebody's shooting at the president? Oh, it's only gonna be the president that's gonna have to worry about. No.
Here's what happens in Gobekli Tepe. Now, the CEO of Dogus is billionaire Feritza Henk, who has been a loyal WEF boy for quite a while now. This partnership with Dogus and the WEF was announced in 2016, so what progress has been made since then? To start, they added these fancy, ultra-modern roofs and boardwalks around the site to protect it from the elements and promote tourism. Built with super heavy-duty steel beams and foundations that penetrate directly into one of the most important historic sites on Earth, and also appear to be pretty permanent, literally getting in the way of excavating the site further as it's sitting right on top of unexcavated areas, which we know from our radar scans there is much more to see under these. Why on earth would you stick these massive steel foundations and boardwalks into a delicate historic site you're claiming to excavate, damaging it in the process? But oh, that's just the tip, which I do not like. Almost an entire kilometer of walkways and fully paved roads were added to the undug areas on top of the ruins, pouring concrete directly onto the site with plans on replacing some of the wooden walkways with more paved roads. Does any of this seem like temporary tourism awareness to you? And look at this aerial view. Rows of trees planted on the site on top of areas that are highly suspected to have more underneath as per radar scans. The same view from 2004, a whole 10 years after excavations began, shows no trees, almost like they intentionally planted them afterwards. Tree growth has been shown to damage man-made structures, so is this any way to be treating the most important ancient site in the world? We're not even allowed to touch Stonehenge anymore, yet they're pouring concrete, planting trees, and sticking long steel foundations into Gobekli Tepe? If they really wanted to excavate it, isn't this just making the job 10 times harder? Professional archaeologists like this fine lady went there and confirmed herself as a professional that they are, in fact, destroying the site, to which the Turkish government denies all allegations, even outright lying, saying concrete was never used. It was. How on earth can we continue to excavate this site with all this stuff on top of it, all for tourism? Even if so, is that more important than uncovering the secrets of our ancient past? The WEF has billions of dollars and is directing all progress on this site. They could dig it up if they wanted to, so what are they trying to do here? Just try and tell me they're not covering the site up with a straight face. I don't see any other reasons for everything they're doing.
Facts. I've never seen such carelessness around history in my life. They are deliberately covering something up, and it's very apparent. Oh, unless they say, ooh, it would be cool if we can build this over this and bring tourism here and make money off of. Oh, the greed of this planet.
Oh, 4D printed steak from Temu. I joke about the Temu part, but this is vegan from Redefined Meat. Look at the logo. Why is the cow upside down? I'm gonna open this, taste it, smell it, cook it. Look at the fillets. It's actually bleed.
Bleed it? Vegan food don't bleed. What is this? This ain't, this might be actual meat. I actually sent this video to a vegan friend of mine. She said she wouldn't eat it.
4D meat juice. You know what? Let me taste it. Am I supposed to be tasting this shit? This is crazy. Honestly, this smells of cardboard. How does this cook? Look at the intermuscular fat. Look at the protein. I'm following the instructions to a T. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Medium heat, 3 minutes on each side. Actually looks like steak. For best results, slice with grade. Medium rare. It feels like I'm cutting into something meaty though. Still smells like cardboard. Look at the cross section. It's now time for the moment of false. I'm just gonna try it. Oh my god. Texture actually spot on. Feels like meat in the mouth. Even
Pause. Feels like meat in the mouth.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
feels like meat. There's a toughness to it. This is actually 8 pounds. It's not bad. I thought this would be so much.
I feel like he was capping. I feel like that junk smelled like cardboard, looked like cardboard, tastes like cardboard. Probably was cardboard. If he ain't put no seasoning on it, nah, he ate cardboard.
It was proved at the turn of the century that the human body is almost 80%, 90% water. And it's also got electrolytes in it, which we know to be salt, potassium, different minerals. That means we're a salt battery. No different than the car battery, different than something like that. And there's a patent actually called the Cali patent, which I'll hold up here for the camera to see. And this patent actually was developed in 1897, and not much has been done with it because at that time everyone was afraid of electricity. In this case, Dr. Clark developed a product using a 9-volt battery. And I'll just show you in the back here. There it is, 9-volt battery. And this particular unit, you just snap on your wrist with 2 wristbands.
We only have a minute. Yeah.
You snap it on your wrist just to prove that I'm a circuit. I push the little green light, and the thing is on. And if I put my hands together, You can hear that I'm a circuit and I'm a closed circuit at this point. Now with
Why do we get a sound when you put your hands together?
because I've closed the circuit. Now when I take my hands apart, obviously the electricity is now being able to flow through the body. The electricity can't go through the digestive tract. So in the digestive tract, to kill the microorganisms, the specific parasites, she's found the effectiveness of the black walnut, which the native Indians used for cleansing many years ago. The black walnut in its green hull form kills many of the microorganisms. And in conjunction with another product called wormwood, and cloves, typical cloves that you would get at the store, these three in combination have the ability to go in and kill all the pathogens. Now, what's most interesting is the Mexican people have the lowest incidence of cancer anywhere on the planet. And the reason is they kill the ascaris with this particular product here, we all know to be the jalapeno pepper. And those seeds of the jalapeno pepper, only 10 or 15 seeds twice a day, have the ability to kill the ascaris, which she found to be a major cause of why the body loses oxygen at the tumor sites. And to kill that, you use the jalapeno seeds, and then you back that up with a little ozonated olive oil.
How are you so certain that each time you have...
We use scanning techniques and we do blood tests. You can tell if a tumor has shrunk or not, but I realized this kind of criticism would come along, and that's why I saved 50 sets of x-rays before and after and all the blood tests, and that's what I published in the last book.
Now this is where you really...
Look, all that natural stuff, and it's supposed to kill pathogens and heal the body and prevent cancers. Sign me up. I'm about to start popping jalapeno seeds.
This world is not what you have been told. Have you ever wondered why all these unexplainable ancient structures are built on the Earth's energy grid? The explanation stems from the emerald tablets of Thoth, who was also known as Idris, Enoch, Hermes, Metatron, or Quetzalcoatl. In these tablets, Thoth mentions a technology called stargates many, many times. He explains that they enabled him to travel instantaneously between various locations on Earth and even to other worlds. And this is how these stargates worked. The stargates use Earth's energy grid, a network of natural energy lines that crisscross the planet. By aligning the stargates with these energy lines, Thoth could tap into a limitless source of power, enabling instantaneous travel. These energy lines are now called ley lines to hide their true power, but it gets even crazier. Look at all these ancient sites, they all lie on stargate locations. This is because Thoth built every single one. He traveled the globe spreading spiritual wisdom, advanced technology, and profound astronomical knowledge. This is also how every site aligns with constellations or celestial objects. Thoth was known by many names in different cultures because he used these stargates to travel and build sites. Do you think Thoth built more sites on other planets?
Y'all know I love stuff like this, and the fact that this stuff like all coincides with one another, doesn't matter what part of the planet they find this stuff, it connects in some sort of way. It's fascinating.
They talking about how to get a fake tan with gloves, motherfucker. That ain't fake tanning. That's blackfishing. Look at this shit right here.
Blackfishing.
Look at that. You ever seen a motherfucker that tan? That's not melanated? No. You changing the complexion of your skin. Dog, motherfucker darker than me. Yeah. That's wild.
That's crazy.
That's fucking wild. Blackfishing.
Blackfishing.
Dog.
I see it. I see it.
Masons that were very prominent, of course, Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, founder of the Theosophical Society, Annie Besant, Alice A. Bailey, and Alice A. Bailey, her husband, was Foster. He was a 32-degree Freemason and part of co-masonry. They started a publishing company known as Lucifer Trust.
Wow.
Which they later changed to Lucis Trust. This is Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. This one over here is Alice A. Bailey. And these are the ones who wrote down the secret of the secret doctrines. Of course, once they achieved the highest degrees, then they would have to be male. So Annie Besant is known as Brother Annie Besant, 33-degree Freemason. Wow. The same in the Egyptians. If a female pharaoh became pharaoh, then she was male. So Hatshepsut, for example, is figured with a beard because you had to be an honorary male. You can't be the reincarnation of the sun god if you're a female. So co-masonry, Annie Besant and all these high masons, Alice A. Bailey, high priestess of the New Age movement, received messages from a Tibetan known as Dwal Kul. On her writings, you will find, of course, the Masonic symbols. And these are her writings. And, of course, Blavatsky is the one who wrote Isis Unveiled, Secret Doctrine, and all of these mystic Masonic books, which are virtually impossible to get hold of, although these days you can if you search, find.
Man, every time I see this symbol, I think about the last job that I had and how my boss was a Mason, and I couldn't stand that fool.
If you search, find them.
3 quick points for our parents. Number 1, the younger your child is, the less likely you should be getting them evaluated. The younger the child, Charlemagne, the more likely we may misdiagnose. 3 years old is too young for autism evaluation. 4 years old is too young for ADHD. 5 years old is too young for reading disability. The younger the child, the less items we can ask them anyway, because they're so young. So you don't get a good read. I need black parents to slow down, and my Afro-Latino parents, slow down. Stop getting your children evaluated so quickly. The school wants them tested quickly, Envy and Charlemagne. Why? Because special ed begins at age 3, which means they can start getting the money at age 3. Special ed is age 3 to 21. So when your child goes to preschool and they're not talking too good or not walking too good, first thing they want to do is get an eval. Slow down. Give my child a chance to show me what he can do. Because if you go looking for an evaluation, you're going to get a diagnosis, because that's how they get paid, by giving out the diagnosis. Notorious B.I.G. said what? More money, more problems? Well, in the world of mental health, more problems, more money. So slow down on the eval. Number 2, do not get your child evaluated for ADHD, conduct disorder, ODD, emotional disturbance, or intermittent explosive disorder. I'm going to say it again. If you're black, do not get your child evaluated for ADHD, conduct disorder, emotional disturbance, intermittent explosive disorder, because it only leads to what? Medication. America has no answer for a black or Afro-Latino kid diagnosed with one of them syndromes. They're going to put them on drugs. And if you decide to discontinue the medication, Child Protective Services will be called and they will confiscate your children. It's called medical neglect, and it's one of the fastest reasons black parents are losing their children to foster care. If you don't plan to drug them up, and you shouldn't want to anyway, do not get them evaluated. If you think they too hyper, go to the health store. There's all kind of herbal concoctions you can put under the tongue. There's a product called Calm Child. There's a product called Be Calm. There's a product called Melissa Supreme, where they take herbs that calm down the central nervous system. But guess what? The herbs are not even going to work if he's a regular, normal, healthy boy, and you're not giving him enough opportunity to release his natural testosterone. A big problem with all of this is boys need to move around. In fact, the research even shows boys learn better, Envy and Charlemagne, when they move. So why are they still sitting still for 8 hours when the research said, the neuroscience says boys learn better when they move? Because the teachers, the Caucasian nation, the teachers that run the school, they don't want to move.
Oh man, he over here is cooking. I ain't even think about that. Yo, everything in life I learned better as I was moving. When I was in school, I was horrible. Sitting in the classroom at that desk over here trying to listen to the teacher, I wasn't learning nothing. I was like, bro, I need to get up and move around.
They want to sit in that chair because it makes their job easier. So a lot of times this is not an ADHD problem. It's an ain't no daddy at home disorder problem. It's an artificial diet at home disorder problem. Okay, it is it's an attachment disruption due to home life dysfunction problem as well. That's number 2. Third, and my final one.
Hold on, I gotta say, this is the best I've ever heard him talk. Sometimes I'll be listening to this man, I'm like, what? But this is good.
If you don't understand the paperwork, call me. Parents are signing off on evaluations they didn't read. They signing off on diagnoses they don't agree with. If you don't think your child is retarded, why did you sign?
Right.
If you don't think they need special ed, why did you sign?
Right.
Stop signing paperwork you don't agree with and you don't understand. That's what Dr. Umar said. I will make time to look at your paperwork. Stop signing, because they signing our kids away into full-time special ed and they don't even realize it. And you got to go to these IEP meetings. If you're going to put your child in special ed, take care of your child. I got black parents put their kids in special ed, white ones too, but I'm talking about our community, put their kids in special ed and never go to an IEP meeting for 12 years. Now he's about to graduate, Charlemagne, guess what? He can't read. And now you're upset at the school district. He can't read. How many IEP meetings you went to since you put him in special ed? First of all, he should have never been in special ed in the first grade because he's too young for special ed. But if you're going to do it, at least look out for the child. We got to do a better job of protecting our kids from the special education to prison pipeline. Because when I go speak in these jails, and I speak regularly in the prisons, I always ask the inmates to raise your hand. How many of you was in special ed? Damn near every hand go up. Black, white, brown, yellow, and white. Every hand goes up just about. You see what I'm saying? Special ed causes more problems than it solves. Most of our kids just need a tutor. To that point, how many of our kids are reading books this summer? How many of our kids are going to the black bookstores this summer? How many of our kids are being taken to the public library this summer to read something? Most of them are not. They own this right here. This is destroying academic excellence in the black community. This. And for my black fathers out there, I know your son want to be a basketball player. I know you wanted to be a football player. But if he can't read on grade level, what is he doing in AAU? If he can't count on grade level, what is he doing in the summer league? You mean you care more about your son being a good football player, basketball player, than a productive adult? Half the black boys in America in 4th grade can't read on their grade level. Half the black boys in America in the 8th grade can't count on their grade level. But yet we pushing football. There should be no video game in your house, no cell phone in your house, and nobody should be in no summer league if they can't read and count on grade level. We got to get back to black excellence.
And I agree with every single word that came out of his mouth. No objections.
Now, time traveling is something that's not supposed to exist. But what if I told you that there is enough video and picture evidence may actually prove that it was already achieved at some point in time, maybe in the future, maybe in the past? In this video, for instance, recorded in the 1980s, we can see a woman holding what looks like an iPhone.
Absolutely like a phone. And you saw that girl looking at it?
She appears to be recording something, and then afterwards, she's watching what she recorded.
Yeah, it's a
This
phone.
is insane. Now remember that the first official LED phone that actually looked like this was invented by LG, and it was named Prada. It was released in 2006. So this is not an LG product. This has to be something else entirely.
That looks more modern. It's thinner.
In this colorized video from the 1930s recorded in Amsterdam, we can see a woman coming out of a shop. She's clearly holding something that looks like a phone, and she appears to be talking to someone. Now remember that the first mobile phone was invented in the 1970s. Strange, isn't it?
Nah,
but it doesn't stop.
She was on the cell phone, because why else in the 1930s is you gonna put a device up to your ear like that?
There. This black and white video from the 1930s of a woman clearly holding something in her hand, something that looks like a mobile phone, and she's talking to someone through it. So what's going on here?
She on the phone, man. I know.
Then you got this famous video from the 1990s where you can see a woman recording the Mike Tyson fight.
Yo, that is crazy. I've never seen this. Yo, she got a
She
smartphone.
appears to be recording the fight with an iPhone or something like that.
See the wire under the blue shirt.
Like one. There was nothing back then in a day like that that could freaking record. There was nothing.
To the other, we have a beautiful...
Reaching, talking, and looking down like something is wrong.
Our beautiful planet.
Cap, fake.
It's the most beautiful planet in the whole solar system.
Chamatoff and Greg Johnson, obviously they're
Again,
busy doing
looking
other
down.
things. Andrew Feustel is there. Why don't you pass the microphone to him? And for
so we don't need to
Look at his posture. He has that machine around him and he's stuck.
Trinkets with you.
Here's where they do a group backflip and the guy in blue gets stuck upside down. I think we can do that, right? This then causes the guy in red to press an invisible button at the right-hand side of the room. You can then hear the machine working and attempting to untangle him.
That's certainly not as graceful.
I gotta
Keep
say,
your eyes on the guy in
you're
red.
Having some fun up there. You're not going to the Olympics with that. Keep the
Watch. Listen as he presses the button. You can hear the machine. Watch the replay and see the wire under the blue shirt.
Like one. Thank you to...
He didn't press no button. He just pushed on the wall.
It's being pulled by the machine.
Yeah, Miles, and I'll send you one of these bracelets.
Untangling wire.
Thank you to all of you very much. Appreciate your time. I know you got a busy...
He's
mission
completely
ahead. You got
stuck.
the spacewalk ahead. And thanks to all of you for your time.
Yeah, Miles, and I'll send you one of these.
I don't think he was stuck. I think that fool just wanted to hang out upside down. He was enjoying himself. He talked about he was gonna send somebody a bracelet. Like, He should have been saying, "Get me from being upside down," because the blood rushed to my head. Bro, that's crazy. They paint apples.
The whole piece of fish.
That ain't fish. That's mush.
Look at that. It's like
that look like a melon.
Rubbery watermelon. I can't believe I got one. I got a rubbery watermelon.
That's rubber.
It's so weird. Like, what? You gotta bend it so far before it will break.
Nah, don't eat that. What's this? That's fish?
Ужас.
Oh no! You was gonna get worms in your body if you ate that. Look. That look nasty. Yo, when they gonna take that out?
See that?
Moldy strawberries.
We take the moldy strawberries out. They're on the way. Sometimes we put it on the floor, or we put it on this. Cut up, sold for way more money.
Oh, heck no. That's what they be doing in them grocery stores. They'll just take the moldy ones out, clean off the other ones that's in there, and cut them up and sell them. Never again will I eat the little cut up fruit that they be having up in them grocery stores. Don't order food from Walmart delivery. Got a big old cockroach up in there. Disgusting. What was going on with the meat? Look at the rice. No way.
Você acha bem estar dessa forma? Não, eu choro todo dia.
I don't understand the word he said. He just looked crazy.
Qual o procedimento mais complicado que você fez? Por incrível que pareça, pra mim.
He might be an alien for real.
If I can make you think you not nothing, if I can make you think that that gland don't mean nothing, yeah, the appendix, it don't mean anything. You can live without it. Then you take your appendix out, now you have all type of gut problems because the appendix is what actually produces bacteria. Oh, them tonsils, take them out. There's no reason for God made a damn mistake, buddy. Then they take your tonsils out. Now you can't even drain your brain because your tonsils are big ass lymph nodes that drains your brain from amyloid protein, from acid buildup in the brain, from all type of things. And we wonder why we're very, very high when it comes to bald-headedness. We wonder why it's high when we come to neurological diseases. We wonder why we high when it comes to autism, when it comes to dementia, when it comes to Alzheimer's disease, because we don't even know where to drain it from, because the lymphatic system drains into, the lymphatic system drains into the lymphatic system by way of the tonsils. See that? They be making you think that these body parts on you, God was just like, damn, I got some extra pieces, let me just shit in.
So y'all remember that Brazilian flight that just went down? We know some of the people that were on board. TikTok, I'm just reading the news. 8 sea doctors who dedicated their lives to saving others were among the 62 passengers. But there's more than just that. There were actually supposed to be 15 sea doctors on board that flight, but 7 of them canceled last minute for a different flight. As of right now, I don't know what kind of C-word studies that they were doing, but it said that their page is still up on Twitter right now. They have to be the most unlucky people in this world. And completely unrelated, did y'all know that when the Titanic was set to sail, that on board were a whole bunch of bankers who were opposed to the Federal Reserve? And also supposed to be on that same trip were a whole bunch of bankers that wanted the Federal Reserve. And they all happened to cancel the same day, even the same hour. Again, prayers for all the family and the people affected. And if I come across any other information, I will let you know.
That's so crazy to see an airplane just drop out of the sky like that. Just my condolences. Seriously, my condolences to the families, the loved ones, and to the deceased.
Petition has been circulating demanding that Rachel Gunn, also known as Ray Gunn, be held accountable for their roles in the breakdancing debacle. Breakdancing, being such a niche sport in Australia, didn't have a formal governing body. So Rachel Gunn took it upon herself to create one, to get breakdancing included in this year's Olympics. However, her actions appear far from ethical. She appointed herself as the head of this newly formed governing body, and her husband took on the roles of both judge and coach for the qualifiers. The most disturbing part of this story is that Rachel Gunn allegedly blocked genuinely talented breakdancers from underprivileged communities from even participating in the selection process. This move seems calculated to create an environment where only she, her friends, and her husband had a chance at making it to the Olympics. As a result, it appears she secured her spot in the games by essentially eliminating the competition, many of whom were far more skilled. Videos of these other dancers show their talent is undeniable, which raises serious questions about how Rachel Gunn made it through while they did not. And a Change.org petition was launched this morning, demanding accountability and transparency. The petition has gained over 4,000
This woman called herself a break dancer, and she did the sprinkler. Oh my God. What in the world? What the heck is in the sky shooting them lasers like that? That's crazy. That's wild. Never have I ever seen something like that. Have y'all ever seen something like this? Comment down below. Lasers just popping. And it's thundering? Is it raining too? Sound like rain.
Alexa, what year did the Earth start to shift from the 3D?
I bet that triggers some of y'all Alexas at home. I don't have one, so ha. Alexa, slow.
The Earth shifted from the third dimension to the fifth dimension in 2012. This shift was referred to as the shift and involved the elevation of the Earth's elevation from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. This shift was believed to have been triggered by the solar maximum of the Sun, which resulted in a period of high energy in the universe. The shift is said to have brought about a change in the way the Earth and its inhabitants functioned, with some believing that it has made the world a better place.
Wait, what? Is that real? Can I ask Google? Is she gonna ask me the same thing? Let me see what the question was again, and then we gonna do it.
What year did the Earth start to shift from the 3D?
Hey Google, what year did the Earth start to shift from the 3D?
Sorry, I don't understand, but I found something related. Do you want to know what did Earth look like 4 billion years ago?
Nah, I'm good. I don't want to know all that. Alexa knows stuff Google don't, apparently. Don't feel offended, Google. Don't get offended, Google. Don't get offended, Google.
You need to get a movie called NeverEnding Story. You thought it was a child movie.
What is the secret of this enchanted book? What wonders are hidden within its pages? What magical spell does it cast
For the record, I never thought it was a child's book.
on all who read it? What is the secret of the never-ending story?
But that's impossible!
I love this movie, man. It freaked me out in a good way.
You will enter a world where a young boy's imagination becomes a vivid reality. The world of Atreyu and Artax, the Rockbiter, and the good and kind gnome. A world that is vast and eternal, treacherous and dazzling, unforgettable and free. For anyone who's ever made a wish, believed in a fantasy, or had a dream, this is the NeverEnding Story.
And he gets this little book and he goes through this adventure. And at the end of the movie, midway the movie, they say, hell, coming to find out that the little boy that was reading the book of all these magnificent heroes, the other boy on the other side who was going through all the trial was him. And they said, and at the end they said, well, hell, our world is falling down because he doesn't believe in himself. It's all about you. That's the key. You can't, that's the key. This is the real knowledge. There's a mystery of the world, and the mystery of the world is look for no God to save you but yourself, because it's within you. It's within you. It's just that the devil came down about 2,000 years ago, basically, when we get into this, and he made you start worshiping him so you would not cultivate the energy within you. And that's your slavery and your real bondage. And this is the key, what we have to deal with here. Because, I mean, we go through, we see things on TV and we see this shit and we say, when is this shit over with? But the key is, in the 60s, we didn't have this knowledge. In the 70s, we didn't have this knowledge. In most of the 80s, we didn't have this knowledge. You see what I'm saying? We only had a few people talking about it in the past years before that, and we all thought they were crazy. But now, we have the knowledge. As a matter of fact, some people saying, you know, they say things like, too much knowledge is dangerous to the untrained ear. That's not true. What is happening here is this. The knowledge is here now. There is no more secrets. There is no more secret societies that's holding back knowledge. You see, the white boy understood that they would keep people dead long enough until they would be so dead until there will come a time where they will be so much immersed in ignorance until they can give them knowledge and they will reject knowledge. And that's when he start putting out all the knowledge. That's why you go to your family members and they reject the shit. And mainly you. So they know that most black people reject this. I don't want to hear that black shit. I don't want to hear that shit, that old crazy voodoo shit. So because they reject it, now they can put the stuff out. So there is no more such thing as secrets. The secret is that the masses of the people hate knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? So as of around 1985, they knew that the people would reject knowledge because they knew you rejected it in the 70s and the 60s. So they said, now we can put all the stuff out that we had held for the last 140 years that we dug up around the world. And as a result, that's why we only have less than 1% of the amount of people that really bears witness to what the hell is going on.
Y'all can be ignorant if you want to and not believe what he said. Look, you'll be literally what he's speaking about. I believe him. That man was preaching.
So did y'all hear the story about what's going on in China? How China banks is just closing and shit. Like they filed for bankruptcy. Y'all, if this is happening in China, could we be next? Could the US be next? Like, bruh, you know this cannot be good. Y'all, people done talked about this a lot. They're trying to move to digital currency only. You know what they say. When people start losing money, big people, big names, they start getting desperate, or it can mean that war is looming around the corner. So y'all, we might be headed for war, bruh. I ain't even gonna cap. All this stuff happening in 2024 make you think, what is in store for 2025? Y'all need to share this. Make sure you share this post. Everyone needs to know what's going on, bruh. And stay updated, bruh. Follow me because I'm dropping content daily. And just, it's everything that's going on. News on anything you could think of. If y'all got something for me, drop it down in the DMs and shit, bruh. But yeah, repost this. I feel like if they go away with the dollar and then we go away with the dollar, I feel like that's just the beginning. It's going to happen globally. It's going to be digital everywhere. And that's not good, bro. I feel like we need to do more because that's what it seems like they're pushing. And we do not need a cashless system. So everybody needs to speak up on this. No, just take a look at this. They already protesting.
That's crazy. I had no idea. Why we ain't hear more about this?
Hey, I can't understand what they saying, but y'all let me know. Somebody translate this for me so I can let the people know.
That's all I got for you guys today. Leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions down below, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. See ya.